Breaking. Again, Inec suspends collation of results till on Monday. So this is what we're getting at this hour, that Inec chairman Mahmoud Yakubu has suspended collation of results till on Monday. We are aware that currently Inec is having a lot of glitches on the Inec election result viewing portal. So they're having challenges with transmission of results. We don't know whether it's a deliberate attempt by Inec to rig the election in favor of APC, or whether there's a genuine IT issues with the technical issues with the election collation facilities across the federation, because we know that every state has state election collation center where everything is supposed to be deposited, and from there they will transmit from every state to Abuja, which is the National Collation Center, to see what is coming from every state. Unfortunately, Lagos has refused to allow smooth transmission of results from Lagos to Abuja. And now that is part of the challenge that Inec chairman and Inec all over the country is having right now with collation of result. There are system glitches, systems are shutting down intermittently, and things are not working smoothly. And some of the results they got from some of the states were blurred and not very clear, not legible to read at the National Inec Collation Center at Abuja, which is very disheartening, which is a recipe for rigging. I'm sure rigging has started. Doctrine of the report has started, with INEC cancelling some regions and some areas and for election to be conducted again. We don't understand what is happening in this country. I think anarchy they are trying to ferment a condition for anarchy in this country, because people are not going to take it lightly. I don't understand what is happening. Now, INEC has suspended collation of results till on Monday. Let us see further what Mahmoud Yakubu has to say. Yakubu said collation of results would continue at 11 a.m. on Monday. The electoral body announced the development immediately after the result of the polls in Ekiti was announced by the returning officer for the state. The reason for the postponement, according to INEC chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, was because the results of other states have not arrived in Abuja. Yakubu said collation of results would continue at 11 a.m. on Monday morning. In the result announced, Bola Tinubu, the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress Party, defeated his opponents. Details later. Can you imagine? So they're already cooking it. There's a reason reports are not coming across from all the states. You understand? How can you say the result that have been received so far at Abuja Collation Center that Bola Tinubu is leading? How? How can you say Bola Tinubu has defeated his opponents? How? And you expect Labour Party, APC, I expect Labour Party and PDP to take this hook, line, and sinker? You expect other political parties to accept this? You expect Nigerians to accept this? It is not going to be possible. What kind of country is this? Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why is Mahmoud Yakubu selling himself to APC government? Something serious is brewing right now. Because with the kind of turnout that we had yesterday, with the kind of result we are seeing, with the kind of, resilience Nigerians have demonstrated in voting yesterday, you cannot come and tell us, with all the anomalies we have seen across all the polling units, especially in Lagos and some other parts of the country, you cannot tell us that Tinubu has won or is already winning. Because obviously people did not vote Tinubu. It's only Lagos, even that Lagos, if not for the Togri, all right, Tinubu wouldn't have won Lagos and will not win Lagos. It's not going to be possible. There is anarchy that these people are trying to cause. I don't think they understand the consequence of what they're doing. I don't even understand why they are so desperate to do this thing that they're doing at the expense of justice, at the expense of free, fair election, and even disobeying the 2022 Electoral Act that was signed by Buhari. And even the 2022 Electoral Act was first violated by Buhari by showing his or displaying his ballot paper to show who he voted for, to show that he voted for Tinubu. So after Buhari has showed his own ballot paper who he voted, which is a violation of that National Electoral Act of 2022 signed by himself, followed by the Attorney General Federation and Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, also did the same thing, and they were posing, stamping pictures with it. Then Otom also did the same thing at Benue State to show that he voted Peter Obi in solidarity with Peter Obi. So now, after violating all of this, okay, who is going to question each other now? Okay, why am I bringing all of this into this suspension of collation of result till on Monday? Is because the fraudulent act is going on. A lot of malpractice have taken place. This is almost the worst kind of election in the history of Nigeria. And it's quite unfortunate. And already, because of what Mahmoud Yakubu has said now, that from the result that have entered Abuja Collation Center, that Tinubu had defeated or is already defeating his opponent. How do you establish that when you have not finished seeing results? How do you establish that? So everything happening is proving that this government has succeeded in thwarting the civic right of the citizens. People came out en masse to vote, and they really voted. Okay, now from what we have seen, because initially they said Peter Obi or Labour Party does not have enough election observers across all the 774 polling units or local governments in the country. At the dying minute, we saw how Labour Party deployed over 600,000 election observers across all the polling units in the country, making sure that minimum of 5 Labour Party observers are present in each polling unit. And it was effective. Okay, it turned out to be that Labour Party had the best election observers across the country. And apart from those ones that were delegated, people that voted were anxious enough to wait behind to make sure their votes were counted and transmitted to Inec portal before they left. So you can see that the Labour Party had a better structure in election observation, ensuring that their votes counted. Okay. Now, at the end of the day, we saw what was coming out, how so many polling units were disrupted by violence, especially those polling units where Peter Obi was already leading. Peter Obi led in over 75% of all the polling units in the country. But unfortunately, they used violence to destroy. We saw a lot of videos of how ballot papers were scattered, how people were forced to vote for APC in Lagos. People were issuing threats that if you come and you're not voting APC, better go home because there'll be trouble for you. With all the threats that happened in Lagos, Lagos had the worst election history in the history of Nigeria, marred by violence, with MC Olomo holding INEC people and all the wards in Oshodi Solo area to ransom, to hostage, okay, at gunpoint. How do we continue like this? How do we run the country like this? So, why am I bringing all of this? Mahmoud Yakubu is a suspect in all of this. Inec is a suspect in all of this. We saw one word at Apapa where Peter Obi already won in that area, but the returning officer had to tipex the ballot paper. Okay, and then the Labour Party observers, they refused. Right now, the lady that produced that video to say we cannot allow this has cried out on social media that threatening to kill her. She has 5 children with her grandchild 6, including herself and her husband and her family. They want to kill her. How can we continue running Nigeria like this? It's quite unfortunate. Now, Mahmoud Yakubu is saying that the suspension is because they are not seeing result coming from other states. And that must be including Lagos. And then finally saying that from the result they have seen so far, we really need to prove that Mahmoud Yakubu actually said all of this, because I don't understand. If it is true, then INEC has succeeded in working for APC in this government. So thank you for listening. While we wait till on Monday morning, 11 a.m. for collation to start again, then we will see what INEC will have to announce to us Nigerians as the outcome of the election, especially the presidential election.